2021 is a year that will likely go down as a career highlight for Kanye West, with the massively successful rollout of Donda. With 3 stadium shows and pretty impressive numbers on the charts, Kanye was back in the good graces of the public eye. However, as the year ended in an awesome event where Kanye and Drake got together for a collaboration concert, Ye would begin likely the worst era of his entire career in 2022. Kanye would begin the rollout for his follow-up album to Donda, Donda 2. Along with a listening party full of technical issues and unfinished songs, Ye would catch a lot of heat for his beef with Pete Davidson. But as Pete and Kim broke up, fans hoped that Kanye would chill out and maybe focus on finishing the album, writing some music. What a foolish dream that was. As the year went on, Ye had gone from claiming that he would no longer have a phone until his album was finished in February to totally ignoring the fact that he even promised a record and launching his presidential campaign for 2024. While Kanye has said a lot of crazy things in his long and controversial career, never has he disgusted and disappointed so many people in his fan base like he has this past year. Before I even start covering Kanye's 2022, I want to make it very clear that I do not condone or agree with anything Ye has said, especially recently. I find a lot of his comments to be ridiculous, ignorant, and downright disgusting, and I merely wish to document this period in Kanye's career, because Ye, to a lot of people including myself, is one of the most influential artists of our generation. The way he's been manipulated this year is downright disgusting and a true reflection on not only the dangers of mental health when untreated, but also the absolute spinelessness of a lot of reporters and political figures in the United States. It has been potentially the hardest year to be a fan of Kanye West, and today we reflect on all the wild shit that Ye has said and done in the complicated rollout of Donda 2 Part 2. Following the slightly disastrous Donda 2 listening event, Kanye would be very quiet on social media, no longer posting multiple times a day on Instagram. However, it was very clear that Kanye was still working on the album after the event occurred. A version of We Did It Kid would be heard, where Ye is reciting the opening lines that were originally performed by Baby Keem.
I go, rest in peace to my man. I see the feet prints in the sand. We've done everything we planned.
And also had a Fabio Foreign verse on that track. Additionally, Digital Nas would post an Instagram story where in the video, security is being played in the background with a new Kanye intro line, as well as a feature from DaBaby. But Ye was really not being seen in the public eye and soon would drop out of Coachella. Ye would obviously have a feature on Fabio Foreign's album with the City of God song, and Fabio would take to Twitter to say that Kanye was doing good, he was just chilling in Hawaii, taking a break for a little bit. Among the quietness, rumors would surface in May of Kanye and Playboi Carti having a collaboration album or a collaboration tour titled Narcissist. Kanye would really go on a string of features, first being featured on Pusha T's It's Almost Dry, one track with just Push, Dreamin' of the Past, and the other being also featured with Kid Cudi. Cudi would approve the song, doing a favor for Push, and allegedly there was even going to be a music video, but it never saw the light of day due to, Kid Cudi kind of hating Kanye.
Fast forward, Cudi like, man, I'm only doing this song for you.
Yeah.
You my man. I can't stand him. I'm like, bruh, like, don't do this right now. Listen, I seen a video director last night who's supposed to shoot the video.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, man, we was ready. Everything just blew up.
Another interesting thing that came from Pusha T talking about Kid Cudi and Kanye's relationship was that allegedly this year, Cudi, Kanye, and Pusha T were all supposed to go on tour together.
Y'all were all supposed to go on tour together too, right?
Oh, hell yeah. They've been talking about everybody going on the road this whole time. Because we usually make our albums simultaneously. So like while he was doing his Donda thing, I was making this album too.
Mm-hmm.
He was, of course, further along, it comes out, boom, then it's my turn, boom. And the whole play was like, after we do this, then we gonna go. Cudi, he had joints in the chamber for Cudi too. I don't know how it plays out.
Kanye would also have a feature on Future's new album earlier this year on the track Keep It Burnin'. That came along with a music video as well. And speaking of music videos, Kanye would drop one for Life of the Party, and it would premiere all this new clothing that would come with a new Yeezy Gap drop. Kanye would drop new music himself as well. I guess not really new if you're like a hardcore Kanye fan who have already heard the track, but True Love would be released by Kanye West and XXXTentacion. Oddly, the choice would be made for a Kanye line to be looped and replace a totally fine verse. Like, it's a really weird decision. I don't know why it happened, but it did. But that new Yeezy Gap clothing would drop on May 27th, accompanied by some Gap pop-ups in New York City, Miami, Chicago, and other big cities. Now, at these pop-up shops, Kanye would have all the clothing unfolded in these, like, bags. They weren't exactly garbage bags, but the point was a commentary on consumerism. Kanye was trying to be different. He's a big art guy. He obviously very talented artist before he broke into the music industry. But because it's Kanye, a lot of people would get on him about this and say how ridiculous it was and not understand the creativity behind the concept. Kanye would go on Fox News to explain the idea behind the setup on August 18th, describing why the items were displayed in that way, because apparently nothing else is going on in the world. See, that's what's so crazy about Kanye's fan base. They are so used to Kanye being attacked for every little thing, like even why he displayed his items in this fashion. So then when something big actually comes along, where it's like, you know, it's kind of fucked up that he said that, it's just an interesting dynamic because his fan base is so used to having to defend him for stupid shit like that. Back to music, Kanye would feature along with Lil Durk on Cardi B's single Hot Shit. A lot of people wouldn't like this track, but for a Cardi B song, I thought it was fine. I liked Kanye's verse here. Ye would also feature on the Vori track Daylight. This is a song from 2021 that Ye gave to Vori, but Kanye never finished his verse, so his contributions to this track is purely mumble, and it's mixed horribly. Unlike the Cardi B track, a lot of leaks, such as 530, were showing that Donda 2 was set to be a very emotional album. Kanye actually planned on taking an entire year off from the public eye, but that would all change when he would have a speech at the BET Awards honoring Diddy. Despite breaking his hiatus, Kanye would still pull out of Rolling Loud and be replaced by Kid Cudi. I don't know who thought that this was a good idea. I get that Kanye and Kid Cudi have like similar fan bases, but they're literally beefing. How do you not expect this to be a disaster?
If I get hit with one more fucking thing, if I see one more fucking thing on this fucking stage, I'm leaving. Don't fuck with me.
So Cudi gets on stage, and a bunch of jackasses throw garbage at him, so he leaves. Ye then shows up at Lil Durk's set on a separate stage, not even like 5 minutes after Cudi walks off. I'd like to point out that there was no refunds available for this event, and a lot of people went so they could see Kanye live because he doesn't really do live performances anymore. So the real loser here, while Kid Cudi obviously didn't deserve to get garbage thrown at him and that sucks, the real loser here is the fans. Kanye was there the entire time. There's no reason he couldn't perform. In August, Kanye would begin his campaign for his new sunglasses, the Yeezy Shades, and they're a very interesting design that he would have a lot of people promote, including Lil Uzi Vert, Steve Lacy, and many more. An info dump would drop in early August that would have the following information regarding Donda 2 and Kanye's upcoming music. It would say that We Did It Kid was finished. Donda 2 was supposed to be released on streaming months ago, but for whatever reason it wasn't. A music video was recorded for 530. The Weeknd recorded for Donda 2. The rollout for Donda 2 had allegedly begun with the Sunglasses campaign. Songs won't be STEM Player exclusive, they're expected on streaming. And that unreleased Kanye songs were being discussed to be put on the STEM Player. Finishing out this info dump was that there was talks of unreleased Kanye tracks being released on the STEM Player, and while it's not known if there was even agreements for this or plans set, I will say the track Garden, which dates back to the Yandhi era, was in the STEM Player code on the website, and additionally, there was also in the code Take Me to the Light, which is another 2018 track, which features Steve Lacy in the code. Obviously, whenever you get info like this, you have to take it with a grain of salt. It's not proven. We don't know if it is true or has any validity, but I always find it interesting to say this so then when everything does eventually come out, we can look back and be like, was that true or was it bullshit? For music that did release, Kanye would feature on the Games album not only with the previously released Easy, but also the track Fortunate. And additionally, We the Best Music. Come on, you guys should love to DJ Khaled, am I right, guys? He would release his album, God Did, where a Use This Gospel remix would be dropped with Eminem that's been being teased since 2020. And now we start where the controversies truly begin. And it starts in a place that a lot of people actually agree with Kanye. Kanye has discussed various times, be that music or even his deal with Adidas, that his contracts aren't exactly fair, and contracts for everyone in the music industry and other avenues really favor the companies and screw over the artists and creators. That was exactly the case for Yeezy Day on August 2nd, where Kanye had no information on the event and didn't support it himself. The other company that Kanye has a big deal with is The Gap, who would allegedly have a meeting about Kanye without Ye on August the 30th. Gap would directly copy a Kanye design from the Yeezy Gap drop with the Gap logo on the front, just no dove on the back, and they would sell it for a lot cheaper of a price. Kanye would understandably have a problem with this and call Gap out on Instagram. The Gap would receive a lot of backlash and eventually have a meeting with Kanye where Kanye would talk to a lot of the executives about why this was so wrong and why he was essential in the company staying relevant in the future. However, as it looked like things were going to get smoothed over, Kanye, because of the Gap issue, would be reminded of his Adidas deal, which allegedly has something that says they're going to open up Yeezy stores in various areas around the country. That aspect of the contract was obviously never fulfilled, and Kanye began connecting with fellow artists and creators about building his own stores across the country for Yeezy products. No matter where you stand on Kanye, I mean, before the comments he made recently, I find it very odd those people who celebrate the idea of a big corporation pretty much stealing the designs from a single creator. I mean, Adidas has been ripping off Kanye's designs for years, even before they canceled his contract. They were producing so many shoes that looked exactly like Yeezy designs, and Kanye was finally getting on their ass about it. So Kanye really set out on a campaign of independence from these big corporations, from capitalism, taking interviews with CNBC and GMA, discussing very shocking things such as Gap not allowing him to drop prices to $20. Kanye would announce that he planned on doing a Yeezy Season 9 fashion show, truly proving his independence from the Gap and producing his own clothing items. What this meant to a lot of fans was that at this event, Kanye was sure to play some new music. Around this time, we got some more information on the album Kanye was working on at this time, perhaps not even called Donda 2 anymore, but either way, the tracks expected to be on the record were Forgive Yourself, Close for Business, Long Time, Get Lost, We Did It Kid, Sci-Fi, 530, Fuck Flowers Fat Money, and Broken Road. In that same info dump, it would be learned that Mr. Miyagi featuring Future and Playboi Carti would be scrapped. The song would later be leaked in December, but speaking of Playboi Carti, on September 23rd, Ye would come out during Carti's set at Rolling Loud, vibing to Off the Grid, and wearing clothing that would soon be revealed to be a part of the Yeezy Season 9 fashion line. On September 28th, Naomi Campbell would go live on Instagram, where Kanye was at this, function place. It's not like a club, maybe it is a club, and he was playing some new tracks, all of them in collaboration with James Blake. Kanye would travel to Paris, where he would participate in the Balenciaga fashion show. On the same day as the Balenciaga event, various people would post IDs that they would receive for admission into a Yeezy Season 9 fashion show occurring the next day. On October 3rd, Kanye holds the Yeezy Season 9 fashion show. And this is where shit hits the fan. So Ye walks out, he has a speech. He turns around, in the back of his shirt says White Lives Matter. Also at the event, wearing the same shirt with Kanye, was controversial right-wing figure Candace Owens. On the front of the shirt is a 90s gangster-style design of Pope John Paul II. After the clothes were shown, Kanye would play one new track that was produced by James Blake, titled Always. While the track certainly wasn't finished, it includes some lyrics that make it seem as if Kanye's stunt in wearing the t-shirt was calculated. Always has a lyric that reads, "I know you're angry. Is it at me or is it at the situation?" Ye knew that wearing this shirt with that slogan was going to piss a lot of people off. But did he do it simply to stir the pot and create some controversy? Kanye's rationale for wearing the shirt would change drastically over just 2 days. In an interview he did right after the event in Paris, he would say that he simply thought it was funny. And while the slogan on the back is very controversial and hurts a lot of people, it is hard to take a shirt seriously that has a 90s style picture of Pope John Paul. 3 days later, after receiving a lot of negative press and hanging out with right-wing personalities such as Candace Owens, Ye's mindset would seemingly change. It's weird because Ye admitted that it was more of a funny thing, he did it satirically, but then obviously got attention on his fashion show, which I think would be the motivation behind doing so. But it's almost like with the negative attention it got and all of the shots people took at Kanye for wearing a shirt with that slogan on it, he was like on the defensive and all these people were around him and told him, hey, this is what you should say to combat. It's almost like he backed himself up into a corner where he's like, yeah, now I do believe this. It's very strange. Ye would have a sit-down interview with Tucker Carlson, with the interview oddly being separated into many parts to milk the publicity. Gotta love Fox News. In the interview, Kanye would express his new position on White Lives Matter, saying that they do matter just like Black lives. Conservatives have been pushing the All Lives Matter concept for a long time, ever since the Black Lives Matter movement really got kickstarted and everything with unfortunate events of police brutality. It's not shocking to see Kanye suddenly agreeing with that narrative as someone who is proudly a Republican. However, interestingly enough, Ye marched in support of BLM back in 2020. Seemingly between then and now, Ye has taken issue with the organization of Black Lives Matter, and because of that, totally disregarded the movement. What started apparently as Ye trolling now saw him buckling down on a statement that has serious implications. Ye was being attacked left and right, and he had people around him in his ear that were supporting what he was saying, telling him he did nothing wrong, and he latches on to those individuals. This exact situation happened in 2018. If you remember, back in 2018, Kanye received a bunch of flack when he backed President Trump, and what started as a whole thing where he was like, you know what, I think we should love everyone. We can get more progress done in the country if both Republicans and Democrats reach across the aisle more. That turned into meeting with Trump and also spewing a bunch of Republican right-leaning concepts and ideas. He starts out with a specific goal in mind, gets a bunch of criticism for it. Then these political people get around Kanye and capitalize off his vulnerable state as he's getting attacked left and right by a bunch of publications, and ultimately manipulate him where they can use his name to propel their typically radical and dangerous viewpoints. Why Kanye allows himself to be coerced in this way, when notably being such a creative and talented individual, is really strange to me. Some people may say it's due to mental illness, but if you ask me, Kanye has, especially this year, said that he doesn't like people around him who don't agree with him. He just wants people around that nod their head and tell him he's doing the right thing. Outside of politics, Ye went at respected journalist Gabriella Carifa Johnson, who put out a message disagreeing with his use of the White Lives Matter slogan. Along with that, Ye would go on various rants on Instagram defending his apparent positions. In one of the rants, he would name drop the late Virgil Abloh and theorize that his work at Louis Vuitton is what sped up his death, essentially blaming his passing on the head of Louis Vuitton, who at Yeezy Season 9 Kanye named his new competition. This would lead to Tremaine Emory going at Kanye very hardly because Tremaine was good friends with Ye and good friends with Virgil. He would take shots at Ye, mysteriously mentioning Uganda, which is probably the most mysterious Kanye lore out there. But eventually Tremaine and Ye would text on the 6th, seemingly sorting things out in a very rough way. Ye would return to Twitter on October 7th, something that would be pretty devastating to his career, but we'll talk about that in one moment. Kanye would take to Instagram to announce that his planned listening party at SoFi Stadium in LA would be canceled following his White Lives Matter antics. The reveal that a listening party was planned would be shocking and exciting, as that meant Ye was working on new music. Fans would get to hear some of those tracks as Ye would drop a 30-minute documentary on YouTube called Last Week. In the mini-doc, Ye would allow fans to see his day-to-day activities, talking with Adidas executives and working on new clothing designs. All of which took place a week before the Yeezy Season 9 show and the White Lives Matter ordeal. Some snippets of songs would be heard throughout the video and likely may be on whatever album Ye is working on currently. Those tracks heard would be Happy, First Time in a Long Time, Sci-Fi, and 530. Finally, the video would likely reveal Kanye's upcoming project to be called War, due to a graphic displaying that title, and Donda 2 being a forgotten concept that is yet to be mentioned in months. Fans were hype. I mean, this was new music. That is the reason why most of us are here. We love Kanye's music. Some can appreciate the clothing, some can appreciate the Yeezys, but at the end of the day, we love the music. Oddly enough, I think too, because Kanye has to write it, record it, etc., a lot of the ideas that Kanye tries to express don't come off well when he's just like off the top of his head in an interview. When he has this stuff written down in songs, it makes a lot more sense. It's more coherent. Yet, things would all go to shit on October 8th. Kanye would take to Twitter, and he would tweet, "I'm a little sleepy today, but when I wake up, I'm going DEFCON 3 on Jewish people. The funny thing is, I actually can't be anti-Semitic, because black people are actually Jew also. You guys have toyed with me and tried to blackball anyone who ever opposes your agenda." What the fuck? This is just straight up anti-Semitism, and this is what I was talking about with Kanye's comments, just really disgusting people. Kanye would go on Drink Champs to hopefully clear up what he was saying, but he would just double down on everything. He would also go even deeper down the conspiracy rabbit hole and claim that George Floyd's death was not due to the cop kneeling on his neck, but rather a fentanyl overdose. This would lead to Balenciaga and Adidas cutting ties with Kanye. He was finally free from his contracts, but not on his own terms. While a lot of people agreed with Kanye's takes on the unfairness of these contracts, no one was celebrating anymore. This wasn't a win for anybody. I mean, Kanye is out here at Candace Owens' stupid fucking documentary showing, taking pictures with Kid fucking Rock. What timeline is this? This isn't fucking fun anymore. Ye would have to go to platforms like Parler to express his thoughts on things. And even there was a point where he was going to buy Parler, but he ended up not doing it. I don't know why. It's just such a flourishing, a really nice platform. I should probably get on there, to be honest. I think I'd really pop off on Parler. Among all this bullshit, one good thing would happen that involved music. Sean Leone would release Burn Everything featuring Kanye on November 18th. It's a really fire song. Kanye's great on the hook. I think honestly it's one of his better musical contributions this entire year. But because of his controversies and how upset people were over the things he was saying that were absolutely whack, the song gets no appreciation. While a lot of what Kanye has said, especially recently, is downright ignorant, insane, crazy, he would share this screenshot of a text message between himself and his personal trainer he's had for years. And the personal trainer is also apparently a fucking special agent sent here to control Kanye, because this guy literally says that if you don't sit down with me, talk with me, and stop saying all this crazy shit, which, I mean, I don't agree with what Kanye's saying either, but if Kanye doesn't stop doing this, he's gonna take him to a hospital, get him medicated, where he'll go into quote-unquote zombie land. Kanye has talked about being controlled like this since 2016, and while a lot of people, including myself, have written it off as some sort of crazy statement, conspiracy theory, etc., this text message proves that there's some validity to that, and it really shakes a lot of things up, even if you're like me and you disagree with almost everything Kanye said in the past few months. This shit just gets crazier and crazier. Kanye would go on to meet with Trump down in Florida and essentially ask him if he wanted to be his running mate. Not if Kanye could be Trump's vice president. He asked Trump if he would be his vice president. Allegedly, Kanye would play Trump Say You Will, because they were like, let's play a Kanye song. Kanye was like, okay. And he put on Say You Will. Like, isn't that just a strange choice? Like, I was just like sitting there for a long ass time, like, out of all the songs, like, you're like, yeah, let's have this meeting, we're hyped up, I'm gonna run for president. Let's play the depressing ass anthem that kicks off 808s and Heartbreak. Like, great way to start this fucking dinner. I guess Trump and Ye would go back and forth, and Trump would eventually say something about Kim, like, when like a girl breaks up with you and your friends are like, yeah, fuck her, she wasn't shit anyway. I guess Trump would say that about Kim, and Kanye's like, hey, that's kind of disrespectful, like, that's the mother of my children. But what really pissed Kanye off is, I guess Trump was like, look, dude, there's absolutely no way you're gonna be president. So following this, Kanye would officially launch his 2024 presidential campaign. Video and all on Twitter. Why the fuck is that guy looking at Kanye like that? Along with whoever the hell that guy is, Kanye would begin to associate with professional asshole Nick Fuentes and other goons who wish to capitalize on the name of Kanye West and not tell him no to anything. I want to take y'all back real quick. 2018. Yandi. Alien leak. Kanye says this.
Alex Jones said the same shit in Pride. Oh shit.
Do you guys remember those books when you were a kid where it's like, what would happen if an alligator fought a shark? Like, just what would happen with the matchup? That's almost how I've always felt about Kanye and Alex Jones. Like, I don't really want it to happen because, you know, I mean, I hope we wouldn't get to this point with Kanye, but like, here we are. Kanye goes on Infowars on December 1st. And here we go. Roll the clip.
I'm just saying, I don't like Nazis, and I don't like what some of the mafias are doing either.
I like Hitler.
Yep. He said that. I want to take everyone back again, 2018. We keep going back to that year, but it's important. Kanye was going to do this album before Ye came out, and it was called Love Everyone. The goal of the album essentially was to get canceled. Kanye was going to do all these terrible things, say all these bad things, and the goal was essentially to nearly end his career. It's a very interesting concept that I plan on making a video on very soon, but for example, there's a song called DJ Khaled's Son, where Kanye essentially names every slur in the book. It's very strange, but Kanye has almost like a fantasy. He almost is excited when he pisses as much people off as possible. He really likes the attention. Maybe it's because in the past, when he pissed people off, he created masterpieces like My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, but I don't know. I don't really know. I really don't, but the highlight of this interview is Alex Jones going, "You really have a Hitler fetish, don't you?" Kanye even stressed Alex Jones out, and it's something that he's proud of. He would have an interview on Clubhouse a few days later where he essentially was bragging that I out Trump, I out Alex Jones. I really think Ye is pushing the envelope on purpose. I don't know if he just likes the attention, but almost seeing how canceled he can get. Following the Alex Jones interview, Kanye would take to Twitter. He would acknowledge a few of his older songs he was listening to, which was nice to see, but bam! Posts a picture of a fucking swastika. Like, damn, okay, we're back already. The picture posted would be a swastika inside the Jewish star. And the point behind it, obviously it's a symbol that's used for a certain religion, but the point behind Kanye posting it was to unify the groups. We'll get to why that's ridiculous in a second, but again, calling back to 2018, the Love Everyone concept was bringing all these people together who hate everyone and just spreading love. The album cover was supposed to be the surgeon who accidentally killed Donda West. Also, if you remember that Pope John Paul, who was on the front of the shirt Kanye wore at the Yeezy Season 9 fashion event, he was known, his main thing he's known for in history was loving his enemies. That's a cool concept, and if you're talking political parties, I'm all for it. But you cannot unify the Nazis and Jewish people. Jewish people are an innocent race of people, okay? Nazis are people who want to kill those innocent people simply because of their race. Elon Musk, who recently bought Twitter, would even comment on the picture, saying that Ye had gone too far. In response to that, Kanye would post a picture of Elon shirtless getting shot in the head with a hose, to which Elon's petty ass would ban Kanye off Twitter for. Not for the, posting the swastika or anything, or even, saying he was going to go DEFCON 3 on Jewish people. No. Posting a picture of me shirtless, that's where I draw the line. As mentioned previously, this is when Ye would then go on Clubhouse and basically say that Elon isn't a real friend. The only really good thing to come out of the Clubhouse interview was news that Ye was in the studio daily, even canceling interviews post Infowars because he was so focused on music. We would get to hear some of that music, but in order to talk about it, I want to give the backstory, because low-key, the backstory is crazy as hell too. So the interview Kanye did before Infowars, he revealed that basically he was already engaged to another girl, which, I mean, I never get into Kanye's relationship status. I was just like, damn, that's kind of quick, but hey, it's true love. More power to you, okay? God bless. But basically, this girl broke off the engagement because she was like, I can't do this anymore due to the anti-Semitic comments. So that whole situation was the motivation behind his new track, titled Someday We'll All Be Free. This song would be premiered on Infowars of all places on the 7th of December. Later, Kanye would put it on Instagram before Insta would take it down. But the general consensus of this song that I've seen is, I really don't want to like this, but I do. This is just so crazy. This is why Kanye is so polarizing, because despite all the crazy shit he said, that even the most hardcore Kanye fans can't even defend, they're disgusted. His art in music still is appreciated by people, even his biggest haters. And I'll be honest, I'm one of those people, I haven't agreed with anything Kanye said post the Yeezy Season 9 fashion show, but God damn, is this beat fire. I also really like Kanye's backing vocals. I mean, his lyrics aren't the best, but by the time you hit the second verse, it's pretty good. Ye's addressing how the relationship was interrupted due to his public scrutiny, and the sample ties into his free-thinking mindset. There's a fire line about Janet Jackson, and then, bam, we're right back into the bullshit.
Tweeted DEF CON, now we past 3.
A sample from the Infowars interview ends the track, where Alex Jones is trying to give Kanye a layup where he can like backpedal and make sure he, you know, doesn't ruin his career, where he's like, let's be honest, like you can appreciate the art and the uniforms and stuff. And then Kanye says, there's a lot of things I love, and he repeats that at the end. This is where I'm really confused, because the fact that Kanye's playing this up like this in the music, and his statements are just so crazy, and I get that he's around people like Nick Fuentes who are like bad shit insane, etc. But like, is he really believing this shit? Or is he seeing that people are reacting like crazy and he's just amping it up and continuing it to get more attention and get people to react more? I genuinely don't know. The thing too is that Kanye is so into performance art. We saw it especially with the Donda listening parties. While it is possible that Ye is really amping it up and doing some Andy Kaufman performance art shit, it is so irresponsible to spread this type of misinformation when you have such a wide audience. When so many teenagers look up to Kanye and like him because of his raw personality and openness about his own mental struggles, it is a shame to see someone with his platform spread such bullshit and hate, even now claiming that the Chinese government is being controlled by Satan to attack the United States. I know, it sounds like I'm making this shit up. I'm not. Kanye's art means so much to me. I've been a fan for so many years. It's helped me when I'm down. When I needed motivation, it was my kick in the ass. I mean, I drove all the way down to Georgia from Chicago to see the first Donda listening party. And two, I talked about before with my own mental health struggles. That album, Ye, I mean, that stuff, I've never had music speak to me like that before. But unfortunately, what Kanye is speaking on recently that's getting him in such hot water, it isn't like it's just a disagreement politically. It is literally straight up spreading anti-Semitism, and it's dangerous. While Kanye is such a talented and creative individual, it's almost as if the neglect and hate he's received over the years has caused him to fold and stand by these right-wing conspiracy theorists who have no problem, no guilt, no shame in taking advantage of someone with a history of mental illness. I've put this video off for a long time, and while I love covering Kanye's career, doings, especially the processes that eventually lead us to an album, I've just been really unmotivated to talk about him whatsoever due to all the bullshit he's been saying. There's no doubt in my mind that this is the worst era of Kanye's career, and unfortunately I don't see it ending anytime soon. He's already launched his campaign for the 2024 election. I don't know if he'll get on that stage for the primaries and such. If he is, holy shit. Kanye has come back from a lot of shit, but I don't think he's ever done anything as damning and as bad as this. Either way, I'll be here to report as Kanye says even wilder shit and life gets even harder for fans of Ye. The rollout for Donda 2 or War or whatever the hell Kanye's next album is going to be titled has gotten even more complicated. This shit isn't even about the music anymore.